you hit that soda quote unquote spike strip at the end of the year, guess what you want to do? You hit that spike strip at 100 miles an hour, because what you don't want to do, and trust me when I tell you this, what you don't want to do is you don't want to hit the spike strip at 60 miles an hour, slow you down to 30 miles an hour, or 0 miles of momentum from scratch. And that's what most people do. Okay, so we're going to watch a couple of videos here today. It's a little bit different, but I'm going to share with you guys some stuff. And I'm going to share with you the first video that I'm going to pull up here is a video of me back in 2019. You guys always hear me talk about it takes 5 years to make life fair. It takes 5 years to make life fair. That's exactly what we're going to talk about here today. I'm going to show you a video of me. It was in the evening, 2 days before Thanksgiving in 2019. So 2 days before Thanksgiving, right? So we're getting there. Let me go ahead and think I've got it here. 1 second. There you go. ADT, perfect. Second, here it is. Let's share this video.
I posted in the chat as well if you want to look for it there.
Perfect. I already got it. Thank you very much. So here's the deal. Before I share the video, I wanna preface the video, right? In 2019, some of you guys have heard the story. 2019, I was in a very bad financial. My wife and I, my family and I were in a very bad financial situation. Long story short, I lost a lot of money in investments. I had to close down a call center that I had. My network marketing company got sold to somebody else. He cut a bunch of people's checks, and he basically said, hey, go and sue us. So kind of like Murphy's Law, right? Whatever could go wrong went wrong. So in 2019, I told my wife, I set her down right here in the living room, and I said, our son was asleep. I said, hey, you're going to have to, I need your help. Things are not good financially. I'm going to need you to hit the field again. Some of you guys heard the story. She went door knocking, sold ADT, and made $8,000 her first month. And I thought, how much money do you make per deal? I had no idea she was going to make that much money. I was hoping she'd make $3 grand, $4 grand maybe, right? She made $8,000. So long story short, I get started knocking on doors with her. But the interesting thing is that just a year prior, we had a net worth of over 7 figures. We had a passive income of multiple 6 figures a year. We were sitting pretty. In a year's time, everything got flipped on its head. Now, I'm going to share with you a video of me visiting new homeowners selling home security in 2019. You're going to see it says 4 years ago. It's 5 years ago, because 2 days from now, that video will show, it's going to show 5 years ago, because it was actually a day tomorrow will be exactly 5 years. It was on the 26th. So let me share the video with you. 1 second.
All right, just finished visiting new homeowners. It's about 7:18. Started at 4 p.m. I picked up my mom's car now, and now I picked up my car now that I'm done. The point is that it's Tuesday, I believe November 26th, and it is the 2 days before Thanksgiving. So I visited about 30 homes. I think, how many people was I wasn't really able to pitch anybody, really. I think 2 people ended up answering the door at 30 homes. And I think everybody's out, shopping for Thanksgiving and getting ready for Thanksgiving. So anyways, in doing that, I did find, it was still productive, because I found, okay, this house already has an alarm system. This house does as well, not interested, or whatever the case is, Anyways, the reason why I'm recording this is because God willing, the reason why you see the red light turn on me is because there's traffic. So we're at a stop sign. So when the car in front of me puts the brakes on, the red lights turn on. Anyways, I know that Thanksgiving 2020 is going to be an incredible Thanksgiving, God willing, of course. And right now we're out here working hard because I'm building my Thrive business, but Dinero Merchant Services isn't available yet. We can't sign people up yet. So therefore, it's everybody's basically waiting. So you got that plus the holidays, kind of the whole momentum has slowed down big time. And so anyways, I'm doing this video specifically for the reason that Thanksgiving 2020 is going to be a lot different, God willing, again, than this one. You know what I mean? Won't have to worry about going out there and chasing some ADT deals, even though that's not a bad thing. It's just not what I do, right? It's what I'm doing right now, and it's a very respectable and great business, actually. But what I want is the I Thrive business and Dinero Merchant Services to come on board, and we're gonna crush it. Look, I got my ADT shirt, I got my ADT cards, right? So, anyways, just documenting this. Have a great day, guys. It's gonna be a great Thanksgiving. It's gonna be a great rest of the year, and 2020 is gonna be full of blessings. We're gonna bless a lot of people.
Okay, so check it out. This morning it had 3 views. A couple of you guys saw it, I guess, and I've seen it a few times. It's an unlisted video. I uploaded it for myself because I was broke, busted, and disgusted. Look at the date, November 26, 2019. Tomorrow it will mark exactly 5 years. I was in the worst financial situation I had been in that much time. So the point that I'm going with this is I always talk about it takes 5 years to make life fair. 5 years to make life fair. I knew right there that morning, I knew if I go hit the field, I'm not going to find a whole lot of people because people are out shopping. People are already, not only are they checked out, but people are out shopping. In 2 days, it is, Thanksgiving. But then I remembered I'm JC Rangel, and I don't make those kind of excuses. And I said that I'm going to go out on the field, and I'm going to go out on the field. And some people might hear me talk about myself in the third person, right? I'm JC Rangel, and think that that's in a cocky way. No, it's not. It's because I decided a long time ago that I am a winner, and winners do what winners do. I am not an average person. An average life and an average father is not what my children deserve of me. It's not what the Creator deserves of me. It's not what my wife deserves of me. So what would a winner do there? If Michael Jordan had to go out and door knock and he was in my shoes, would he go and hit the field that day? Would he have made the phone calls that day? Yes. So therefore, that's what I'm going to do. That was my philosophy, and I knew beyond the shadow of a doubt because I learned a long time ago, and I told people a long time ago, making money is like riding a bike. You could lose it all again. In a Biggie Smalls movie that came out, I don't know, maybe 7 to 10 years ago, there's a really cool scene with not a very popular guy these days, right? But his character, P. Diddy character, had a really cool line. He says, "You could throw me in the jungle, and not only will I come out good, I'm gonna come out wearing a chinchilla, and I'm gonna come out running the place, right? Something along those lines. I'm not saying the exact words, but my point is, I knew I've done this before. I've made $1 million a year. I've made $300,000 in a month, multiple months. And I'm just broke temporarily, right? But I'm not poor. I don't have a poor mindset. So I got to do what I've got to do. I had just started at the time doing home security. So that was November 2019. March of 2020 is when I got started in the solar industry. And I just kept doing in the solar industry. Here's what I did. I went all out. I was selling and I was recruiting. That is something that I recommend everybody do. Everybody should strive to do mentor sales, meaning 3 50-50 split sales and 5 with a mentor, because you're now leading by example, right? So you're building your business. So during the day, I was making phone calls from 8 in the morning till like 3 p.m. I'm making phone calls. I'm doing game plan interviews. I'm doing 3-way calls. I'm doing launch events. And from about 3 or 4 till about 7 or 8, I'm visiting new homeowners. And let me tell you something. Very important numbers that I need you guys to understand right now. 2020 is a year that I got started in the solar industry. 2020. So let's call it April because it was late March. So really I started working in April. I'm selling. I became a mentor in 11 weeks, built a team of 40 people. in 11 weeks. That's not a huge team, but nevertheless, 40 people. I became a mentor in 11 weeks with a team of 40 people. I never had to look for a lead ever again. Here's what happened. My 1099 for 2020 was only 64,000 bucks. Okay, but check this out. By the end of 2023, 1.4 million. By the end of 2023. That is a tremendous spike. So some of you guys may be thinking, oh, I'm not making enough money yet. I'm not making enough money yet. You haven't gave it enough time yet. The company itself is not even a year old. Now, here's the deal. I went all out massive action from the beginning. I want you to hashtag AOMA in the chat. Hashtag AOMA. That's something you got to live by. That's for all out massive action. I'm going to give you some advice. If everything is under control, you're not going fast enough. If in your business, everything is under control, you're not going fast enough. I'm telling you what I did. I was broke, busted, and disgusted. Now, I'm going to share with you guys because we're family. I haven't shared this in 10 years with anybody. Every year, I announce, since 2013, watch, I'm going to look at my stories because Thanksgiving falls on different days, right? Since 2013, I've announced, hey, family, on Facebook, Instagram, a friend of mine is donating Thanksgiving dinner to anybody. Anybody that you know that cannot put Thanksgiving dinner on the table this year, please let me know. A friend of mine is donating dinners for anybody and everybody that can't. Okay? Since 2013. I never said it was me. It was me, though. And there's videos that prove that. I didn't care for people to know. 2019, I couldn't afford it. I could afford some of it, but not all of it. I knew it's not going to be a good Thanksgiving. It's not going to be a good Christmas for my kids. I'm broke. But that's temporary. I don't have money temporarily because the person that I've become is that person that knows how to rebuild it again. Guess who I called to help me? Because I put that advertisement up and I said, if enough people show up that, ask for dinner, they can't put food on the table for dinner. And if I could cover it, I'll cover it. If I can't cover it, I will figure it out. So many orders came in that I could not cover it. So I call Mr. Navarro. Say, Wences, what's up, bro? He said, hey, what's up, JC? I said, listen, I don't think you know, but every Thanksgiving I do this, blah, blah. I don't know if you know. That's me that's doing it. He said, I didn't know it was you, but I figured it was you. I said, okay. You know that right now, financially, I'm not doing all that great. I did it again, but I can't cover all the food that is ordered. I was wondering if you'd be open to donating some money so I could cover some of these dinners. He says, just tell me how much. And I told him how much. I don't remember the number, right? Maybe a little bit under $1,000. He says, sounds good. How do I get the money to you? He got the money to me, and we were able to deliver that food. For me, that is a big why of mine, to be able to do things like that, right? But I knew in 2019, I'm broke, busted, and disgusted, but this is temporary because the day of where I'm going to make $1 million again already exists. So 2019, late 2019, I'm broke. By 2013, I'm on stage getting my $1 million jacket. Okay? And in 3 years, 2,100 solar installations. Oh, and guess what? We didn't sell home security. We didn't sell water filtration. We didn't have a binary. We didn't have none of it. My first, in 2020, 60,000. Let's say 62, 63, 64, right around there. 64,000 bucks. Fast forward 2.5 years later, $1.4 million. Okay? Because I knew I'm still that guy. At one point, I didn't say I'm still that guy. At one point, I said I have become that guy. Or in some of your ladies' cases, I have become that girl. So even if you weren't that person yet, you can decide that you have become that person. Does that make sense? So I wanted to share that with you because I wanted to share that story. And I'm going to share that video, by the way. It's an unlisted video. You can't find it on YouTube unless you have the direct link. I'm going to put that link in the chat as well. So that's the first thing I want to share. Here's the other thing. This next video I'm going to share with you is a video once I was already in the solar industry. Now, keep this in mind. I was already in the solar industry. This video is, I'll tell you the date. June 12th, 2020. Watch this. So let me share the screen here. Special message to my friends and colleagues. Look at the date. June 12th, 2020. Let me tell you why I did this. In a 2-year period, I was with a network marketing company, okay, that went under. I started working with home security. My wife and I started our own home security dealer. Then I got into solar within a 2-year period. So that's 3 failed businesses in a 2-year period. That's not a good look, right? You're going to lose some credibility like that. So here's what happened. That's not a good look. I'm going to lose some credibility with that. So I made this message because I knew that I didn't have credibility with some of my friends. So there was a bunch of friends that wouldn't even take my phone call. And this is a message that I use for them. So let me make sure that I'm sharing the audio.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is JC, and I just wanted to send you this short 2-minute video to let you know something very important. The white elephant in the room, obviously, most of you guys know that I'm in the solar business now. And if you don't know, this is me telling you. But the elephant in the room that I'm referring to is the fact that I know and I recognize that over the last 2 years, I have not had a very good look. Over the last 2 years, since 2008, you know, anybody that follows me on social media has seen that I went from one network marketing company to another network marketing company. Then my wife and I opened up our ADT dealer, and now solar, right? It is what it is. I can't change what happened. There's some mistakes that happened in business that I can't go back in the past and change. And I understand that for people to take me seriously in my industry, I've got to settle down with one thing. And that's completely understandable. The way some of you guys are in insurance, the way some of you guys are in real estate, or whatever the case may be. I just want you guys to know this. I'm not asking for referrals. Here's what I'm asking for. Keep an eye on me on what is it that I'm doing. My family and I fell on some hardship before COVID-19, and then COVID-19 just further put us in that hardship. And I made a decision that network marketing is not something that I'm going to be doing anymore. I'm going to be building my solar business, which we were able to sell in 28 states. That's what I'm going to do. Just like you guys, I'm just doing the best that I can to provide the best life that my family deserves. Again, just like everybody else that's watching this video. So I ask you guys just to keep in mind, hey, if anybody ever has any questions about solar, if anybody may be interested in solar, you know, hopefully you guys, as time goes on, can keep me in the forefront of your mind as being that solar specialist. And again, I know that it hasn't been a professional look over the last 2 years, and I can't change that. But what I could change is what I'm going to do from this point moving forward. Some of you guys that are my friends have busted my chops for that, rightfully so. But just know this, over the next 10 to 15 years, the solar business is what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to dominate in this industry. Right now, I'm just getting started. I'm not balling by any means. I don't have a whole ton of customers, but I will, because we all know that that's the way sales work. If you stay consistent and persistent, it's going to come. And I'm excited for the future. I'm very excited. I'm very motivated. I get up every morning excited for this business, okay? And we're going to go out there and make it happen. So wanted to share this video with you guys. Also, if I could ever be of any help for you, let me know. If your sales organization ever needs a sales or mindset trainer, I'd be happy to do so. But again, I'm just sending this video to let you guys know, please keep me in mind whenever it is that you feel comfortable to refer me or to keep me in mind for solar needs. Please do that. But I want you guys to know that this is very, very serious decision, and this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 to 15 years. Take care, guys.
All right. So I want to share that with you, be a little bit vulnerable. That's a part of my journey. That was June of 2020. I don't think I was even a mentor yet by then. I don't think I was even a mentor yet. But that's what happened. So 3 years later, ladies and gentlemen, my team and I did 2,100 installs, because I knew these big numbers aren't going to happen overnight, but these big numbers are going to happen with the compound effect of my results. I'm going to recruit, I'm going to sell, and I'm going to train to recruit and sell. And around that time, I mentioned in that company, at that time, the company had, I think, 7,000 people. I will be the number one mentor in this company, and I will be the number one team builder in this company, because I applied what I learned in network marketing, and that's what we've done. So I wanted to share that with you because it's around this time, they say that things happen out of inspiration or desperation. For me, it was both this desperation and inspiration. I was building a business. I had become the master distributor of a network marketing company right before the ADT time, but the company never took off. And I knew it. And I told my wife, if this takes off, I'm going to make a lot of money, because it's network marketing. I've done this before. We're going to do it again. But if it doesn't take off because the services are kind of complicated, it was a merchant services with no chargebacks, just so you guys get an idea. It was through an app that you paid with your finger tips, right? With your fingerprint, you scan it to verify that it is you that's making the payment. So how can you say that you didn't make that payment? So there was no chargebacks. So my point is this. I said, if it works out, we're going to do great. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to get in a deeper hole. So it didn't work out. That's when I went to sell ADT. So that's a little bit of my story. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and I'm going to, the training that we're going to get into today is a Jim Rohn training. It's called the story of the sower, the parable of the sower. And I'm going to play the video. It's a 10-minute video. And I'm going to stop after every single one of them. And I'm going to give you guys some notes on it. It's one of my favorite trainings. I recommend everybody watch that entire training. Okay. So give me 1 second. Let me pull that up. So 10-minute video, but I'm going to pause it at times. We're going to get into the training with it. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear the audio.
I learned the law of sowing and reaping. And in the law of sowing and reaping is also the story of the law of averages. Jot this down. The story of the sower comes from the Bible. I'm an amateur on the Bible, but this is such a useful story. Here's what the story says. And take the notes because the drama's in the details. The sower was ambitious. Evidently he was ambitious. When you read the whole story, you'll conclude, yes, this was an ambitious sower. Here was number 2. He had excellent seed. The sower who sowed the seed had excellent seed. And the excellent seed could be an excellent opportunity, an excellent product, an excellent story. So we've got an ambitious sower with excellent seed. But now here's the rest of the details of the story. For your information, for the drama of your life, so you can understand things better. Learning some of this is how I got rich by age 31. Okay. Number 1, it says the sower goes out to sow the seed, but the first part of the seed falls by the wayside and the birds get it. So jot this down. The birds are going to get some of the seed. The birds are going to get some of the seed. Now you say, well, Mr. Rohn, what does that mean? Well, I invite John to come to a meeting. He said he'd be there Tuesday night. Tuesday night I show up, John isn't there. I say, John, I wonder why John didn't make it. Now I know the answer. The birds. The birds. John had this great idea of coming to the meeting to look at an opportunity, and somebody stole it and said, you're not going to go see network marketing. And he says, well, maybe not. So have you jotted that down now? The birds are going to get some. Now, when the birds get some, you've got 2 options. Number 1 is to chase birds. And say, well, let me get a hold of the person that talked him out of coming to the meeting. I'll tear him a new page. But I wouldn't do this. Here's what happens if you go chasing birds. You leave the field. If you go chasing birds now, you leave the field, which is going to distract from your future, not add. So you can't chase birds and try to straighten this stuff out. Here's what it is. It's just one of those things. And here's the best comment when things are a little disappointing. Isn't that interesting? You just have to say, I thought sure he would be there. He promised me. He promised me. But I know it was the birds. And you just have to say, isn't that interesting? Now, here's the rest of the story. It says, the sower kept on sowing. See, that was the secret to his success. He kept on sowing. And if you keep sowing, you can sow more than the birds can get because there aren't enough birds. If you keep sowing, there are some birds, but there's not enough. Because the law of averages will work for you.
Okay, let's pause it there. I like to listen to stuff like this, and I literally have my notepad, and I take notes. because I want to learn with the intent to teach. That is a leadership lesson for you, by the way. Learn with the intent to teach. Here's one thing. I literally was telling my son this earlier today. Most people, son, you know, in martial arts or in life, most people train until they get it right. Not us. We're going to train until we can't get it wrong. I want you to write that down. This is a martial arts philosophy. I'm not training to get it right. I'm going to train until we can't get it wrong. Most people are like, oh, wrong, wrong, wrong. Oh, you got it right. Perfect. We trained till you got it right. That's it. No. We're going to go to, you got it right. Let's do it again. You got it right. Let's do it again. You got it right. Let's do it again. Over and over. Man, you can't miss. You can't get it wrong anymore. You are so good because what do we say? Drillers are killers. That is a martial arts philosophy. That's a martial arts saying. So a couple of things about what he just said. He was an ambitious sower. The sower was an ambitious sower. And he had excellent seed. Excellent seed is the opportunity, the excitement, the belief. The question to you is, and I want you to put in the chat, do you have excellent seed? Meaning the seed is in you. Are you that leader that says, I'm going to the top? I am a millionaire in the making. We just got to get to that date where they give me my $1 million ring at BYLD Network, where they give me my $1 million jacket at BYLD Network. It is, I just got to get to that date so the rest of you can see what I already see. It says here, if you guys notice that second video, this is my background. I did it here. It says, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. That's a Napoleon Hill quote. So do you have excellent seed? Because you have excellent seed, which is, guess what? The business. We've got the best business in the history of direct sales and network marketing. We've got the best business in the history of the dealer program. Solar, security, water are dealer programs. So the seed, which is the business, you've got excellent seed. Question, are you excellent seed? Excellent seed is the one that says, I'll take Thanksgiving off. I'll even take Friday off. But come Saturday, I'm making phone calls. I'm following up with people. I told you guys, tomorrow we're going to have some flyers. Encore Solar flyers that say $1,000 rebate on your solar system Black Friday special. Now, that $1,000 comes from the commission. FYI, want to make that clear. You could choose to send that to your prospects. Some of us, we have prospects for the water. We have prospects for security. We have prospects for solar. That if we got these ADT, $100 rebate for getting your home security, water filtration, right? Rain H2O, $300 Black Friday rebate. Solar, $1,000 Black Friday rebate. So me personally, you better believe on Friday, I'm going to be sending some Black Friday deals. It's up to you. So the question is, are you excellent seed? The next note that I have is here. Some of the seeds, the birds got. Negative people are going to get some of these seeds. Some of you are going to have customers that the birds are going to get some of these customers. Some of you have some prospects that they're going to say, I'm excited to join. And then one of their aunties that did Amway in 1983 is going to say, you're not going to do that, are you? I did Amway in 1983 and that didn't work out for me. And guess what? Some of these people are going to, the birds are going to get them. Question, are you excellent seed? Because excellent seed says, oh, isn't that interesting, says Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn told me, JC told me, Mr. Bean told me, Mr. Ayala told me, Mr. Navarro told me that the birds are going to get some of this seed. But here's what happens. The birds get them, but when you become, you get some of those people back. See, the birds are going to get them, but you got to become an ego in the business, right? And some of those people, guess what? You think people would rather hang out with the birds or hang out with the ego? And I'm going to give you this advice. And this is facts. Write this down. Remember it. Ingrain it in your brain. You will make more money with strangers than you will with friends, family members, and people close to you. You will always make more money with strangers. Do not feel bad when I've got people that I'm the solar guy and they didn't give me the business for solar. When I was a realtor many years ago, Real estate guy, my best friend, they bought a house with somebody else. It happens. Good seed, egos, and good seed say, isn't that interesting? I'm going to keep on going. I was told that this was going to happen, and guess what? This happens to the best of us. Keywords. Some will, some won't, so what next? But keywords, he said, but he kept on sowing the seed. That means he kept on prospecting. He kept on talking to people. He kept getting rejection, and guess what did he do? He kept talking to people. He kept talking to people because he is good seed. Does that make sense? I'm gonna keep talking to people. I see some of you guys are experiencing this. You went through some hard times. Now all of a sudden, whoa, person that comes to mind right now, Mr. Pete Ochoa. He's got like two water sales done. He's got like 3 water and solar sales in the pipeline about to pop any day. He's got 3-4 more appointments, but he's been with us since day one. But he kept sowing. He kept sowing. Erica's another one. She kept sowing. Johnny's another one. He kept sowing. He kept sowing the seed. Sowing the seed. When you come here, we are sowing the seed in you. Right? And then the last one I got on that first part is the law of averages is gonna work out for you. It doesn't matter how bad you are. I mean, it does matter, but in the law of large numbers, it doesn't matter. In the law of large numbers, the law of averages, you're gonna catch somebody at the right time, and they're gonna say, I am interested. As a matter of fact, I just got out of this morning. They pitched me solar, and they told me some things that I didn't know about solar. Sure, I'm interested. Matter of fact, I got my bill ready because I was going to send it to them. So I'll get a quote from YouTube. Or the water. I just saw a documentary on the water. So even if you're bad, if you keep on sowing, you will come across some of these people because the law of averages works in your favor. But guess what? The more you keep talking, the more seed you keep planting, the better you get. The more confident you get, the easier it flows, right? So let's keep going. Let's keep listening.
My mentor taught me, he said, you know, Mr. Rohn, there's only 9 or 10 real nasty, miserable people in the whole world. Now, he says they move around a lot, you know, and you're liable to... You'll bump into one once in a while. But when you bump into one, you say, there's only 9 more like you. I can handle that in the whole world. Okay. Now, here's what else it says. The sower now keeps sowing the seed. Now the seed falls, the story says, on rocky ground where the soil is shallow. And the rocky ground where the soil is shallow is not of your making. Because you had excellent seed and you were an ambitious sower. So the rocky ground where the soil is shallow is not of your making. But here's what it says what happened. This time, the little seed that falls in the ground starts to grow. And the little plant starts to grow. But the first hot day, it withers and dies. It dies. Not an easy thing to watch. I finally get John started. Sure enough, 3 or 4 days later, somebody says, boo, and he goes, he's gone. Doesn't show up at the second meeting. And I say, I thought, sure, John would last a week. What happened? Jot this down. The hot weather is going to get some. And this is not of your making. Here's what you must say when that happens. Isn't that interesting? Wow. What can you do? The answer is nothing. You say, well, I'm going to try to change this. I wouldn't take that class. You know, the sun comes up in the east. Somebody says, why is that? I wouldn't spend much time on that. Just let that happen. Don't go for this why stuff. I'm giving you the answers here. The answers is in the structure and the consequences and in the deal. The answer is in the deal. Anything beyond that is not worth study. You say, well, how come some just last a little while? I wouldn't sign up for that class. Here's the answer. Some don't stay. You just have to jot that down. And when some leaves, you say, that's one of those that don't stay. Now you know what category to put them in.
Okay, let's look at some notes here. The rocky ground. What is the rocky ground? Where the soil is shallow. This is when you sign some of them up. Some people will join your business and then they get a rejection or two and they quit the business. They join the witness protection program. Okay? They join the witness protection program and they disappear. That happens. And it is important as builders that we know that's one of those that doesn't stay. It could be they join, they quit because they got a little bit of negativity, right? Somebody told them, or maybe they called a couple folks said, oh, solar's a scam. What's interesting, ladies and gentlemen, is, and some of you are going to experience it, some of you guys are going to have the feeling sometimes of, you doubt it's going to enter your mind. By the way, that is normal. Somebody's going to say to you, solar's a scam. And most of the time, the people that say negative things about an industry or a particular company or industry are people that don't even have credibility in that subject. Isn't that interesting? People that don't have credibility in a subject talk bad about the subject, and what's worse is those people that believe them. Like, oh, really, White, do you have solar in your house? No, but I heard a story. My cousin, her second cousin is married to a guy that works at a job where the boss of that job got solar and it didn't work out for him. It's terrible. It's terrible. Solar is a scam. And then you go, oh, and you know why that happens? It withers away and he whistles, right? And dies. And you know why? You know what prevents that from happening so often? Plug in. Good seed plugs into the system. Good seed connects to the system. So sometimes when some of these things happen, they talked about it at training today. They talked about the difference between a lease and a PPA. That what they're saying is not true. That's uneducated. So guess what? Now you don't have that feeling of uncertainty because you have plugged in. But here's what happens. The less you plug in, the more likely you are to plug out. The less you plug in, the more likely you are to get the hot weather to take you out. Okay? Now, here's the deal. A good sponsor does make a difference. So if you recruit somebody into the business and you are a good sponsor, not just a recruiter, remember there's recruiters and sponsors. A recruiter simply puts them in, boom, forgets them, sign and drive, boom, sign them up, drive away. A sponsor says, hey, listen, I just got you started. It is my job to get you started off on the right track. Let's make sure you go through your certification and game plan interview. Fast Start Training Certification Game Plan Interview. Let's download WhatsApp to your phone. Are you on Facebook? Let's add you to the Facebook group. Let me give you the schedule. It's in your back office. Let me show you, but let me also send it to you. Let's open under and add the schedule so you don't forget. Millionaire Mentorship Call. It's a must. Here's the days that we have the events. Watch this 7-minute video. As a sponsor, now what happens if I sponsor, right? Let's say Sabrina. Sabrina gets started and I go through the system and I say, Sabrina, we've got to schedule your launch event via Zoom. The goal is to have 5 to 10 people. If you have a little bit less, no big deal. If you have a little bit more, great. And let's say we do a launch event. We sign up a couple people, even if it's affiliates, 1 or 2 builders, an affiliate or 2. Maybe we get her some bills. Is that going to anchor her in the business more? Doggone right it is. You know why? Because I'm following the system, because I'm good seed. A good sponsor is good seed. So I anchor her in the business. And even here's what happens. This is called tap rooting, which I got some news about tap rooting, by the way. A team is not a team until you've dug 5 to 7 levels deep. That's when it's a team. And that's when you find a winner. That's when you find a runner. So let's say I recruit Sabrina, and through a launch event, we bring Audra, and then we bring Pete, and then we bring Erica, and then we bring Jose and Johnny. Somewhere in 5 to 7 levels, you find an eagle. You find good seed. So let's say Sabrina's having doubts. But now the doubts are easier to overcome because I'm like, Sabrina, did you see what Erica and Pete did? Do you see this kind of activity you got going on in your business? Let's make sure that we plug you in. We anchor her, but even if she doesn't get anchored, let's say she leaves, I already have more seed because of her, because I was a good sponsor, because I am a builder. I'm a builder. Because I'm serious about the business because I am good, what? Seed. Right? So you got to be a good sponsor. You got to lead by example. Have you done your launch event? Question, are you generating 8 points a day? Because if you're not generating 8 points a day and follow, that is a system for a reason. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest team I ever built is 120,000 people. The biggest month I've ever had is $300,000 a month, like 5 months in a row. I know what I'm doing when it comes to building a business. If I only had to focus on building a business, recruiting, selling, training, if that's all I had to focus on, I'd be a national director by now. But I'm about we don't really mention it. Right now, my numbers are about executive director numbers. Okay? Very close to national director. Okay? I'm telling you, now, all I could do is all I could do. All I could do is tell you, this system is in place. I recommend that you follow it. What you do is up to you. So we're talking about good seeds. So let's keep going.
And you can't solve this now. You can't, it's like rearranging the seasons. You can't fool with that. All you can do is cooperate with the way things are set up. I didn't set it up. You say, well, it shouldn't be this way. Well, when you get your own planet, you can rearrange this whole deal. But on this planet, you're a guest. You got to take it as it comes. Now, here was the secret to the ambitious sower with good seed. It said he kept on sowing. Now, here's what he had to do to keep on sowing. He had to discipline his disappointment. This is a key phrase now to use the rest of your life. You must learn to discipline your disappointment, because
that is so key. Discipline your disappointment. What does that mean? You're going to be disappointed, and you got to have discipline to stay the course through your disappointment. You got to discipline yourself that through the disappointment, you better believe it. I want you guys to put in the chat how many people on this team, on this Zoom, are gonna make over $100,000 per year. If you're gonna make over $100,000 per year, I want you to say yes in the chat or put fire emojis. You're committed to no less than $100,000 per year. That means $250,000, $1 million, whatever the number is, at least 100. Okay, here's the deal. The higher the number, the more disappointment you're gonna get. The higher the number, the more people are going to come through your business and are going to quit your business. So you must discipline your disappointment. You must know ahead of time, some people just don't stay. Some customers just don't stick. When I get to direct, I might, not saying you will, but I might have a manager quit. When I get to manager, I might have, mentor, I might have mentors quit. That is a part of the business. You must learn to discipline your disappointment, because disappointment you will have. You're going to have disappointment. We are building a business, ladies and gentlemen. The company's goal, if you were at the launch event, is to pay $1 billion in commissions by 2030. That's an ambitious goal. I recognize that. See, a lot of people can fit that. That's the thing. Here's a leadership thing. Here's a leadership tip. A leader's vision must be bigger than those that he leads. If we have a vision to pay $1 billion in commissions, and we gave you the game plan, 100,000 installs by 2030, it's doable. 850 million just in those commissions, not including binary, not including check match, not including water sales, not including home security sales, and not including the rest of the things that we're going to bring. A lot of people can fit. And most companies have a goal to do $1 billion in sales. We have a goal to pay $1 billion in commissions. Now, whatever portion you want of that, that's great. If you want $1 million of that, 10 million, if you want 100,000 of that, if you want $10,000 of that, that's great. We love it here. But you must learn to discipline your disappointment. They say the master has failed more than the amateur has even tried. The master has failed more than the amateur has tried. So guess what? We've got to learn to discipline our disappointment. Let's go.
you didn't set up the setup, and some are not going to stay, and that is not of your making. Now, if you made gross errors and you ran them off, see, that'd be different. Now, you're responsible for that. But if it's in the normal course of things, this is the way things are. Now here's what it says. The sower keeps on sowing. Now it says the seed falls on thorny ground. And somebody says, well, how much of this do you have to go through? Well, hang on. It's not the end of the story now. Now the little seed falls on thorny ground. And now the little plant starts to grow again. But as the little plant starts to grow, the thorns choke it to death. And it dies. So jot this down. The thorns are going to get some. And that's not of your making. And what are these thorns? The story even called these little thorns, little cares, little distractions, little somethings. Who knows what all they are? I say, John, we had a meeting last night. You weren't here. John says, well, I can't make every meeting. I say, why not? You're part-time. He said, well, the screen door came off the hinges. And you just can't let your house fall apart. You got to take some time and fix things up. And I can hear the thorns going, He says some extra trash had piled up in the garage. You can't let mountains of trash take over. You got to keep your trash hauled out. People who let little things cheat them out of big opportunities. People who let little things cheat them out of big opportunities. And you feel almost helpless. What could I do about that? And that's nothing. And you say, well, why is this? I'm asking you not to sign up for that class. Don't sign up for these why is this class. It's just the way it is. Like winter following fall and spring following winter. So if you got that, the thorns are going to get some. But now here's the good news. Let's read the rest of the story now quickly. The sower now what? Keeps on sowing the seed. Keeps on sharing the story. Keeps on giving an invitation. Yes, the invitation can be more powerful for me as it was 1 year later than it was the first month. Because now I'm saying I'm making twice as much money part-time as I'm making on my full-time job. Yes, the story can be more powerful, but the law of average is still going to work. But now here's what the story said. Finally, the seed falls on good ground. Finally, the seed falls on good ground. Now put this in parentheses. It always will. If you keep sowing. If you share a good idea long enough, it will fall on good people. But now here's the rest of that story. Some of the good ground did 30%. And some of the good ground did 60%. And some of the good ground did 100%. You say, well, why the difference in numbers? I wouldn't sign up for that class. Come on. Have I said that often enough now? Don't register for that class. It's just the way it is. Now, I tried to get the 30s to do 60. Found out it was more than I could handle. I used to say, I'll make them successful if it kills me. I almost died. No, you can't do that. Here's what you do. Let the 30s do 30 to the best of their ability and keep doing 30, because that's how they build their lifestyle and get what they want out of life. And let the 60s do 60, and let the 100s do 100s. Now, how can you get some to do 100%? You got to go through all these experiences, and you got to talk to all these people.
All righty. Stop sharing. Okay, couple of notes to close that out. On thorny ground, that's the distractions. Thorny ground is coming right now. The holidays are some of the thorny ground. Some people are going to go into the holidays and they're never coming back. I'm telling you, there's people in the team, they're going to go into the holidays and they're going to say, it's the holidays, bro. I'm just taking some time off for the holidays. Especially the Christmas holidays, those last 2 weeks, they're going to go into this holiday cave. And they're never going to come out of that holiday cave. Because they take their foot off the gas, off of getting connected. They got some discipline. They got some momentum. They're going to go into the holidays and they're never going to come back. That is a thorny ground. You know what helps with that? So also vacations is some of that thorny ground. Some people go on vacation. They don't come back from the vacation. That will happen. What helps all of these distractions? You got to have a strong why. They say if your why doesn't make you cry, you need a new why. You need a why that makes you fly. And you got to stay plugged in. You got to stay plugged in. This is the fire. This is the bonfire in a cold beach. You get away from the bonfire, right? You're not going to be in a good place. But then he said, but he kept on sowing. He kept showing the plan. He kept following the system. And then eventually some of that seed that you are planting falls on good ground. I got a guy that I recruited 2 weeks ago. Recruited him, made an announcement on the group. He's excited, calling me every day, messaging me every day, blah, 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 blah. About a week and a half ago. As of right now, something's happened. I don't know exactly what happened. He did at least respond to me. He says, hey, I got some stuff I got to take care of. I'll let you know, I'll let you know when I'm back. No problem. That happens. Is it disappointing? I can't really say it's disappointing. I wish he didn't stop, but I respect the fact that he's got some stuff that he's got to handle, and that's okay. And eventually, it falls on good ground. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, what is the moral of the story? By the way, I'm going to share the whole training of that one on the WhatsApp group as soon as we're done. It's about an hour and 40-minute training Jim Rohn did. That training that you just heard today, the full one, was a CD I got in 2001. My mentor in that company told me, JC, I need you to listen to this CD and this CD only for the next 30 days. Don't listen to the radio. Don't listen to music. Don't listen to anything. You listen to this for the next 30 days. If I had not listened to that CD every single day on the way to work, on the way to church, on the way to school, on the way to whatever, he says, you listen to only this. And if you're coachable, you're going to do it. And I did exactly that. If it wasn't for that, I would have quit that first network marketing company. That CD, it's called Jim Rohn Building Your Network Marketing Business. I'm going to put the YouTube link once we're done. I highly recommend that. That was a 10-minute segment, by the way, of that training. I'm going to put that up there. So the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, is guess what? You got to talk to more people. And you're going to put them in through a funnel. It's a big funnel. And the bottom of the funnel is small. The top of the funnel is big. You put a lot of leads through this funnel. And only some are going to come out on that other side. For sales, for recruits, that is the way that you build your business. But not only with our company, with any company. If you look at the basketball team in high school, 9th grade, it's a lot bigger than the 12th grade group. It's just the way it is. So I hope you guys got some value from this. I want to make one special announcement. In December, it's going to be a December to remember. I already mentioned about the Black Friday. We're going to have some flyers out for Black Friday. In December, I am doing, not only myself, me and some of the leadership in the company, they don't even know. I'm announcing it to them right now. But if I'm the one that has to do it all, I will. But we got some amazing leaders here, and I know that they're going to help with this. We're doing systems training certification in December, all via Zoom. So December, stay tuned. I'm gonna announce it this week. It's gonna be the Millionaire Mentorship call, basically 3 times a week. It'll start with the Millionaire Mentorship call on Monday. It'll go Tuesday during the day and Wednesday evening. 3 days in a row for about 3 weeks in December. I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna go through the whole system. Those people that complete every one of those 9 trainings is going to get a certificate. I'm going to tell you what we're going to cover in that training. Number 1, recruiting mastery. We're going to go straight recruiting mastery. Straight recruiting mastery. Number 2, the art of 3-way calls and tap routing. This is a part of the system on building your business. We're going to go December to remember. We want you to come out in January, guns blazing. The next one, the 8-point system. We're going to dissect the 8-point system. The next one, the art of communication. To be a strong recruiter and a strong sales professional, you got to know how to communicate. We're going to be training on the art of communication. I used to do these trainings every Monday, and they had us show up for 8 weeks. We did it in 8 weeks, right? And it was 2.5 hours every Monday, by the way, for 8 weeks, okay? So, but we're going to do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, okay? If you can't make one of those days, you can watch the recording. The next one, meeting etiquette. There's a system to meeting etiquette. When you're doing a Zoom, when you're doing a live event, there's a system to meeting etiquette, from the participation to sitting up front to people in the back. We got to hear you. People in the front, we got to see you participating. We're going to go through meeting etiquette. Number 6, we're going to go through launching your new person's business, the proper way to launch your new person, right? The next one, personality training. Gabby, you're going to love this. We're going to go through the personality training. There's 4 personality types. We're going to train on all personality types. We're going to go through the 4, right? So you got the red, the blue, the green, and the yellow. In addition to the personality training, I'm going to be giving you a test. You will get this test ahead of time in a document that you're going to be able to download, and you are going to see what are your 2 dominant personalities. After you come out of that training, you're going to be able to read people what are their personality traits, whether they're more aggressive, whether they're more passive, whether they are analytical, okay, etc. So that's one of my favorite trainings to do is personality training, okay? We're going to go through leadership mastery, and then we're going to go through the 10 deadly sins in direct sales and network marketing. That starts in December. So everybody, we're going to make a list of you got to make sure that you are logged on to the trainings with your full name and your camera on in order to get the certificate at the end. Just so you know, we got to make sure that you're paying attention to the information. And you don't have to, but if you want to get the certificate at the end, you want to make sure that you're plugged into every single one of those trainings. You got your camera on. You're going to be able to watch the recording. That's fine. But in December, I want to make sure that we go through a crash course of the systems to build a tremendous business. And it's going to be a lot of value. So I'm super excited to do that. So anyways, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys got value from today's Millionaire Mentorship Zoom. I hope that I delivered. That is always the aim. And let's promote tomorrow's business presentation. We got Mr. Samuel Bean and Mr. Chris McHenry are going to be blazing the opportunity presentation tomorrow. And obviously, Thanksgiving on Thursday. There's no presentations on Thursday. Enjoy your family. Don't eat too much. That being said, I love you guys. I got to take my son to wrestling. Bye-bye.